welcome into Delmarva Sports Insider. We've been waiting all holiday week for this show.
We
got Brandon Bossard here, Drew Williams, and I am Ryan Eldridge.
That's right. Welcome into the only live and local show giving you all you need to know about sports right here on the shore.
And of course, this is the big show, the one you've all been waiting for. Governor's Challenge Week, and we've got plenty of action to get to.
That's right.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on this week, whether you've been tuning in or not, and we're going to break it all down. We start with our game of the night. This featured another big Bayside Henlopen showdown.
That's right, Ryan. Chrisfield coming in with question marks after losses to Cambridge South Dorchester and to Y High, and tonight they took on the Ravens of Sussex Tech in the showcase matinee. Chrisfield coming out hot. Christian Waters finds Javen Smith inside, and he gets the short jumper to fall. And then it's Rykel Waters driving to the basket, and he gets the layup to go. Chrisfield up 21 early on, but second quarter, Tech fighting back. Devin Reynolds gets it on the elbow, and he drains the three.
Then it's Reynolds from the other side. He knocks down his second straight three. They cut the lead to 9 late in the second. Just before the break, Christian Waters gets the long pass. He's going to throw down the one-handed jam. Crabbers up 11 at the half. Second half, Ravens cutting it closer. Skylar Williams is going to get the steal and go coast to coast for the wide open lay-in. The seconds remaining in the third quarter. Reynolds' three is off the mark, but Cassine White is there to clean things up underneath the basket. Chrisfield leading by just 8 to start the fourth, but in the fourth, the Crabbers pull away. Courtray Fontaine's going to get the steal, go behind the back, and throw down the slam as Chrisfield takes down and they win the Henlopen Bayside matchup 73-59.
It's always good to get a win here. Last year we didn't get the win in the first game, so we didn't get a chance to play in the championship. But being able to get this one today is a good feeling. We had a lot of really good conversations over the past week since the Y High game, and I think we all knew that we were going to come out here and play well. But we're only focused on Chrisfield. We don't care about anybody else on the Bayside.
So you can hear it right there. Chrisfield had a lot of questions entering this game, coming in with 2 losses. How do we feel about the Crabbers after the win?
Well, tonight they got off to a hot start. That's really huge in a game like this. They got up 22-8 in the first quarter. That's really impressive. But according to the scoreboard, Chrisfield dominated. But in terms of the stat sheets, when you look at it, 21 turnovers to 9 for Sussex Tech. They've got to clean that up. But they also shot close to 50%, and if you shoot 50%, you're going to win most games. And they held Tech to under 30, so great defense by the Crabbers.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something you have to keep an eye on. It was nice to see them represent as well, finally, for Chrisfield to come out and make some big movements. It's good to see Courtray Fontaine get back to some of his old form, get some of those big numbers back that we needed from him. Chrisfield, as you heard him mention, and you heard Coach Arnold mention, shake off that Y High game, shake off that Cambridge South Dorchester game. You got to get back to form. This is one of the better teams in the Bayside. Now they have to start representing and showing that.
That's right. They care only about Chrisfield. That's right.
Yeah, but nonetheless, we'll switch gears over to another cross-state matchup with the Laurel Bulldogs taking on the Queen Anne Lions, and the Queen Anne's out and running. Tavion Gross is going to feed it up court to Jameer Gibson. He's going to drive in for the easy shot. And then the Laurel Bulldogs going to find some flashy ball movement. Corey Mumford with the bounce pass to Javier White for the end one. Finished with a game-high 29 points. And then more passing leads to a long 2-pointer for Mumford as he's able to knock it down. Bulldogs feeling pretty good at this point. QO taking advantage of some rough transition defense. It's going to lead to a long pass from Jordan Dozier to Deverin Turner, who gets the easy layup. Laurel looking for the knockout punch, and the jumper won't fall, but Mumford is there to clean things back up with the putback. Nice. Laurel takes down QA and hands them their first loss with a final of 75-56.
Impressive for Laurel right there. Smyrna and Whitman battling today. That's the jersey of the late Chris Moore. The Eagles playing for him. Watch the pass from Nashawn Sylvester finding Elijah Gregory down low, and now Sylvester going in himself finishes with a nice touch right here offhand, kissing off the glass, and now more from Sylvester, left all alone in the corner. He buries this one, 3 of his 14 on the day. And now how about another one from Sylvester right here? But he wasn't the only one dialing up from long distance, guys. Eliza Krettel hits up the ATM. Bank is open now. Eagles up 7 at the half, but the trays kept falling in the second half. Brandon Smith getting in on the action right here. Smyrna pulling away in the final minutes. And that final run was capped off by this jam right here. Smyrna will take on Marshall out of Virginia tomorrow morning at Bennett. And over to Snow Hill now, taking on New Era Academy. James Elliott drives inside and dumps it off to Xavier Rivers, who knocks down the jumper. Eagles answering back, though. Shaquan Williams going to miss the initial shot, but he follows it up and he cleans things up for 2 right here. Jaguars still rolling though. Jamal Kennedy camping out on the left wing, and he's going to bury the triple right here. Good defense from the Eagles leads to some easy transition. Leading pass gets Williams out in the open floor, and he throws down the thunderous jam right here. And New Era out to a 10-point lead and keeping it going. Little rolls Bayside and kicks it out to Elliott for 3 as New Era takes this one 65-41.
And keeping things moving along, the Salisbury School in the Bracket 7 championship earlier against the Frederick Force. Jared Vasquez pulling down the pass and putting up the 2 plus the foul. TSS ahead by 4 after 1 quarter. Frederick staying in it though. This guy, AJ Switzer, averaged 23 in this tournament, had 16 today, putting it up. But another big inside move for the Dragons is Mark Baraz. He led the game with 26 points, also had 11 boards. And why not? His front court mate Vasquez had a pretty big game to remember. 17 points and 25 rebounds to go along with 3 blocks. Top rebounding performance in the tourney. Check that out, just swatting it away.
Putting in work.
Now, Frederick would actually cut their lead to just 3 in the third, and Salisbury School would answer with a big 3 on the other end as Ashton Vasquez. The Dragons are your Bracket 7 champions. That's a 57-49 victory. Here's a big fella after a great performance.
This championship win right here, that is like, they're gonna feel unstoppable. So it's a really nice confidence booster. I just tell myself this is my senior year. Like I have to do whatever I can to try to get out there. Because if you want to play ball on a higher level than high school, you have to put in the work nonstop. So you can't take it easy out there.
And he was definitely putting in work today. Well, the Bennett Clippers in a bracket championship as well against Calvert. Cavaliers opening things up early after Mark Ratchick hits the 3. Now Clippers battle back in the second off the inbound. DJ Bellin is open in the corner for 3. Bellin out in front with a game-high 16 points. Second half now, Cavs battle all the way back. Isaiah Jones knocks down the corner 3 to make it a 1-possession game. But a wacky sequence of events right here, guys. The initial shot is missed and knocked all the way down the floor and gives the ball into the hands of Clippers' Durrell Turner. And while he is being intentionally fouled, throws up a wild shot that goes in. Bennett takes care of business and wins their bracket with a final of 63-59.
Also at Maryland Eastern short earlier, the Delmar Wildcats are your Bracket 6 champions. They outscored Conrad 43-11 in the second half to take it. 4 players in double figures for Coach Sean Phillips' squad, so the Cats take bracket number 6.
43-11, impressive way to finish out. And Easton, in their first action of the tournament, they fall at the hands of Wagner High School out of New York by 5. The Warriors led for most of this game, but a furious fourth quarter comeback did them in. Deontay Heinsohn finished with 16 points to lead Easton.
Yeah, so after day 2, we've seen Delaware and Maryland. We've seen some local teams win their brackets, which is good stuff. What do we think so far of the Governor's Challenge?
Yeah, I know for me, I mean, you were talking about it, we're in the sports office. Right. Laurel is definitely a team that we were really surprised by.
Right.
Putting up a big performance, really moving along. Some big wins for them. And as well, it's really surprising to see. They were kind of down last year in Delaware. They're kind of moving that program forward. It's good to see them really put on a big scoring performance. Yeah. And I got to give some love to Bennett, too. The Fighting Bubby Browns have really looked good as well. I mean, they put on a good show today. That was a game that got away from them early. But that defense, they went to a full court press in that second quarter, completely transitioned that whole point of the game, led them to a great attack. So it's nice to see some of those teams transition.
Right, piggybacking off of what you said about Laurel, they are the second highest scoring team in Delaware behind only Dover. So that's very impressive. The Bulldogs really putting in work on offense this year. So they're 7-2 at this point. You know, they're doing great things so far this year, so hats off to Laurel. And then also, we've been seeing a lot of local teams, like you said, winning their games and winning their brackets. So it's great to see them taking on competition from across the bridge, national teams, and they're winning their brackets. So good things happening out there in Salisbury. Well, that's going to do it for the A block, but when we come back, we've got more highlights to get to from across the Governor Challenge. Stay right here. We'll have that when we come back.
I'm Andre Collins, Chrisfield Crabbers. You're watching Delmarva Sports Inside.